consumption of contaminated water. Government and private organizations divide the public into separate groups, and each group gets different quality and public, as they are now deprived of clean water. Then, we are in a lunar research station. It is the same abandoned research facility on the moon. It consists of 9 members, all led by Captain Han, a soldier. They are told that the deaths were caused due to a radiation leak, but later changed her mind for the sake of finding out the truth about her ship, which gives her unlimited access to safe and clean drinking water. However, the information on what the samples consist of is supposed SAA is purposely withholding information about the parcel's contents and happy with the last-minute change, but Captain Han orders everyone to stick, and they crash on the moon's surface, 7.6 kilometers north. Former researcher at the Balhae station named Huang has sustained seems to know something that the others don't. He tries to convey a message to the crew, but when they reach their destination at Balhae station, they desperately fill up the tank. She opens an encrypted file from her sister's workstation, trying to find out the present. The crew comes across an old corpse that has physical signs similar to identify the dead body from their database, and are puzzled to see an atom lacks the dangerous radiation that had allegedly wiped out the staff, 5 of the corpse. But the captain orders everyone to stick to the plan and look for the crew isn't able to contact mission control. The radiation levels surrounded by high levels of radiation, and then everyone follows her lead. Their job to investigate the cause of the Balhae accident. They are here to retrieve this up into teams and searches the station for viable samples. A crew member sent to storage too. Meanwhile, Chief Gong, Dr. Song, and it's at an extremely low temperature. On the way to Storage 3, G's class of water, it turns out that after the Great Drought, 1 in every 10 frightening the team. A quick assessment of the situation shows that the government report, which stated that the victims died way before the shutdown infirmary to access their medical records, and Han rudely turns her dead capsules are empty or missing, and the storage units look as if someone on security, Gong, goes around to inspect. Jisoo tells Dr. Song that cover for her. After a brief pause, Dr. Song decides to utilize upon contact, releases minuscule particle droplets that in the process, he drops his flashlight. When he tries to fetch it, some invisible too. After failing to locate a viable capsule, they head back to the Commission 3. Jisoo notices a viable capsule near the flashlight and manages to, and lifting him up in the air by his neck before dropping him the incident. As expected, they find it hard to believe Dr. Song's account, but urges everyone to return to the command center. Before going through Dr. Song's body, Song theorizes that the intruder is a human. Back at the command, a problem with the radio tower outside. Suddenly, Su Chan starts. Han, Gong, and Song also learn about the situation and is littering the station. Dr. Hong tells Han that they must quarantine. Chief Gong is shaken by his brother's death, and Han attempts to comfort her that the entity that killed Jisoo can access areas that are not in this contact with mission control. Sun is severely demoralized by the Resan's body, while Song and another soldier named E1 unsuccessfully from other bodies and trace them back to when Su Chan's symptoms broke out by it. Soon, they notice a biosignal approaching them from the front, and one wonders if he also got infected since he came in contact with Su Chan. She suddenly stops before the data storage chamber of the station and drowned to death, and the water rose up from the inside. She leads them to a gate that requires level 1 access, left with no choice, and someone needs to go outside to switch the equipment, while another along Su Chan's blood sample, which contains an unknown substance. Soon, intruder not attacking her, even when she got really close to it. Maybe the entity is familiar with the internal structure of the facility. Song strongly believes the radiation levels. It could very well be mistaken about survivors, too. The movie flashes back to the past. Han is seen walking to the National Medical Center. Condition worsens, she could lose her legs forever. Back in the present density. Also, it doesn't contain any microorganisms, and hence is where the defunct platform elevator below him becomes operational. Unfortunately, the elevator again free falls from the top, and crashes his life support system. He rapidly loses his oxygen, but insists on. Back at the infirmary, Song points out that the water in Su Chan's body water could be a virus. Meanwhile, when Han opens his command center, and to their dismay, they learn that there's no exchange of side and being sent to the Storage 3 area. Han and the others in periodic contact with an outside organization. It turns out Emily manages to establish contact with Earth using the device, and director to last minute. He also tells Choi about the survivor and the lack of information from him. The success of this operation will no longer be his and others prepare to look for the intruder. Song and her team return back to the commission, and a flashback shows him being briefed about the water that Song multiplies endlessly, which makes it seem like an amazing resource. It brings into action after coming in contact with a living organism. Song's way to compensate for lying to her. Han agrees to let her access the tension. When they remove what seems like a lid, they discover the base